Greetings everyone, my name is Eduardo, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. During the last part, I covered several submitted levels, so in this part I'll be covering several levels from the most popular queue, starting out with this one. Top of the Mornin To Ya by RetroVeggie, with 83 plays and a score of 23. As always, if you want one of your levels to be featured in a future part, please leave both the level name and level ID either in the comments section below or direct message me on Twitter. Also, as always, the full disclaimer of this entire LP series is linked in the description below. Also in the description are the timestamps for all the levels I cover in these parts, so if you want to check out our levels covered, expand the description. So far the challenges aren't that difficult, but now we have this whopper here. Remember, 6 wiggles and then it throws out its rings. Well, I have nothing more to say about the stage so far, other than the fact that the checkpoint placement is nice, and the difficulty progression is okay. I don't really see a distinct gimmick for the stage yet though. Other than fighting series of enemies on different terrain pieces, it feels like a rather forgettable fortress stage so far. Just a whole series of different enemies. And I guess this is the end of the level. Very forgettable, very bland. And here we fight Top Man. Which is going to be even easier because he's going to be stuck down there. Plus it seems that Top Man is weak against the Mega Buster. So I have nothing more to say about this stage. It always seems to happen in every one of these most popular level queue parts, where there are going to be several levels that I don't know how they got on the top of the queue here. I mean, this feels rather forgettable, but there are always some goodies there. Second up is Desert Base by Eduardo HB with 20 plays and a score of 8. There's at least 1 or 2 gems present in every one of these most popular queue parts. The question is when we'll actually reach them. This stage's focus seems to be fighting clusters of enemies on every screen, and because of that, it's definitely a step up in difficulty compared to the previous level. Well, I guess this key was mandatory then. And that's it. Of course, this Stone Man encounter is going to be a little bit more difficult because of the low ceiling though. Less time to react to Stone Man jumping on the ground, or stomping on the ground. But otherwise, it was also a kind of forgettable stage. I like this a little bit more than the previous stage, mainly due to having to fight more enemies at once, but still, forgettable. Third up is 1-1 Super Mario Bros. By MegaSamMan with 14 plays and a score of 7. So another one of these recreation stages of the first stage from Super Mario Bros. For the NES. There seems to be a lot of these. And unfortunately, we do not have access to the top spin. That would be a good enough analog to Mario's jumping capabilities. And that's that. A very short level. It felt even shorter in comparison to the original stage though. Fourth up is Flying Battery by JakeStallW with 134 plays and a score of 41. This stage feels awfully familiar because I remember playing a Flying Battery stage, I think also by JakeStall. But the level ID is newer, so I guess it's a remake of the original. Well, rats. And I guess we're using the Chargeman background down over there in order to make it seem like the airship is flying in the air. I like the stage's intro more than the original stages, but the last time I played the original Flying Battery Remake stage, it was several hundred levels ago, so I don't distinctly remember the level design at that level. We do start out with a whole slew of special weapons, but we are missing two, I think. And we have two choices here. We can either take the upper route or the lower route. Let me take a look at the upper route first. Oh, never mind. This was just here for an E-tank. The placement of these fire bar traps kinda reminds me of those flame turrets from the original level. The original Flying Battery Zone from Sonic and Knuckles. Again, nice usage of the background down over there. Compared to the 3 previous stages I played through in this part, I like this one a lot more. It really feels like it's going for something, and has a distinct identity. And several segments definitely feel familiar to the original Flying Battery Zone. Although I'd say that the music for the stage, I would probably pick a different level team for the Sky Battery remake. Using the intro team from Mega Man Powered Up doesn't feel appropriate. I was hoping for a more action-packed team. I'll definitely give this stage a thumbs up. It feels like a nice tribute to the original Sky Battery Zone, and there are several set pieces that feel familiar to the original stage's design, at least Act 1. So good work, JakeStall. I give it at least a 6.5 or 7 out of 10. Good checkpoint placement and nice challenge progression. Fifth up is Mega Man The Wily Returns Sparkman by the Big Proto Man, with 39 plays and a score of 14. And we have the choice of playing as either Mega Man or Proto Man here. Let's play as Proto Man, because for the previous few levels in this part, I've been playing as Mega Man. Thankfully, it doesn't seem that Proto Man takes double damage here. But judging by the intro segments, this feels like one of the more harder levels of the part. Up there with the second level that I covered. Mainly due to some of the spike jumps. We fought the Tama mini-boss 3 times so far, and in every case, it was really easy to dispatch of. We didn't have any use of the Sparkman platforms though, which in some ways is kind of a blessing because some of the challenges of the Sparkman platforms could get rather devious. Sixth up is Woodman Remake by Ellery 4002, with 44 plays and a score of 12. So now we're going to be playing through a remake of Woodman's level. And we start out with almost all the weaponry and utilities from Mega Man 2. though we also have access to the Crystal Eye from Mega Man 5. Well, here's something certainly different. We now have rolling drills. Also good checkpoint placements. And now we have Magnet Man's background, as well as the tile set from Snake Man's stage, and these petite snakes. Overall, I feel that the second half of the stage feels a lot better than the first half. It feels a lot more fun and unique. And now we have the background from Napalm Man's stage, combined with the tile set from Woodman's stage. Also good checkpoint placement, more generous than the original stage, but it makes sense considering there's more instant death. At first, I thought this stage would stay close to the original design of Woodman's level, but now it's going somewhere else. We're taking enemies and tile sets from other games entirely. Now we have Plant Man's background. And I guess this is it. In some ways I like it equally in comparison to the Sparkman remake stage I played. And he still has the same weakness, of course. I'll give this a thumbs up. The first half of the stage felt familiar to the original Woodman stage, but when we got to the second half, it did change significantly. And for that second half, I'll give it a thumbs up. I would have preferred if this stage actually focused on the second half more, or rather the second half was the entirety of the stage and all of its gimmicks and ideas were taken further and made into their own original stage. Seventh up is I Always Come Up With Great Titles for My Levels by QC Shallot Muscles, with 27 plays and a score of 12. And this is neat. This is going to be a special weapons oriented stage focusing on the water wave. Neat, this is a many world stage, or a two-world stage. Once I enter the teleporter, it basically switches some aspect of the level, but the general layout still stays the same. In this case, once I enter the teleporter, it floods the room. And one of the changes in the latest version of Mega Man Maker to the water wave, well, in the version it was added actually, is the fact that if you spawn the water wave when inside of water, it acts like a shotgun. Really powerful. So let's see how far Shallot Muscles takes this two worlds gimmick. Like here for example, I can't destroy the pole leg from here, So I have to jump into these white blocks to drain the water, and now I can proceed onwards. And I do like the distinction that when you go into the water segment, the teleporter has 2 blue tiles surrounding it, but when we're going to a dry segment, it has 2 white blocks surrounding it. I will have to return back up over there in order to proceed onwards. And this is different. When I jumped into the bottom teleporter, it only flooded half the room. So I have to go into the top one and it'll flood the majority of the room, or all of the room. This will likely be important in the next part of the level. Good checkpoint placement. Gotta be a bit careful over there so I don't instantly die. Wait a minute, I can damage boost here. In fact, let me damage boost through there in order to get that E-tank. And I can get back over here. Now dry up the room, or drain the room I mean, and return back to the left in order to proceed onwards. In fact, I need to be on the top in order to proceed to the left, my bad. I could damage boost through here, which I will probably do. I just need to lure this Peter cheat to me. And it's too far still. There we go. Don't jump off. Ah, oh, darn. I'm trying to cheat this challenge, but it's not working. There we go. No way to go to the right, so I guess I'm fighting those 2 mini-bosses. Well, the positioning isn't that bad actually, it's just timing. Good thing that Gachapon didn't fire in an arc. I thought I was gonna die over there. And apparently it was a one-way teleporter as well. Probably should have slid over there. And now we have these GalaxyMan teleporters acting like launchers. Good checkpoint placement. Spaced evenly apart from the first one was to the starting. Overall, this was a pretty enjoyable level. The second gem in this most popular level's queue part. And here we fight Hardman, on top of this coil platform with Tachyons below. This is actually the first time I've ever fought a boss with the shotgun ability of the water wave, so that is different. Overall, I'd say this is my favorite level to part. 7 out of 10 or 7.5 out of 10. Sky Battery Zone would be my honorable mention so far. Good work, Shallot Muscles. Good work with this Two Worlds level. I liked how we swapped between the filled up sewers or filled up facility and the drain facility. It isn't my favorite Two World stage, but it's an enjoyable one nonetheless. 8 up is Weapon Center Tower by Jurjac, with 63 plays and a score of 12. So we're playing his base over here. And we're missing 2 special weapons. Whoops, that was my bad. A special note is the fact that I was able to skip past all these enemies without destroying any one of them. I mean, why bother? It's faster to just jump over them, or dash jump over them, I mean. And there I killed my first enemy, the Killer Bullet. And there's a secret over here, so let's take a look. Why put the key up there? In fact, why even have a key door over here if we're just gonna unlock it immediately? Unless if I keep the key up ahead, I can unlock a special key door. And that was just an epic screw up on my part for forgetting what that teleported to. Oh, and that's it. That key over there was just superfluous. The key and its associated key door. A rather forgettable fortress level. If it went for twice or 3 times as long, or if we kept that key longer we'd get access to a special reward, a bigger reward, I would have liked it more, but as it stands right now it's rather forgettable, and doesn't realize its potential. 9th up is Fun Minigame Deflect Bullets with Shield by ReaperMan, with 49 plays and a score of 11. So we're only playing as Proto Man here. He doesn't take double damage, but he does have access to the Proto Strike. Or rather he doesn't, because he starts out with nothing. And because of that, our only defense is deflecting Pharaohman's projectiles back at him. That was easy. Short but sweet boss encounter. Nice little gimmick. So 10th and final level of the part is Every Boss Because I'm Crazy Download for Use by ReaperMan with 23 plays and a score of 4. So another boss arena level. And we have access to 11 capsules of Flash Stopper, or rather 11 slots of Flash Stopper, as well as 1 M tank and 9 E tanks in total. So here are all the bosses currently in Mega Man Maker. And we immediately win because several of them fell off screen. Well, that was something. And there are several Mega Men just teleporting out at once due to the glitch. In fact, let's try one more time to see the hilarity ensuing. Can I freeze an enemy in place? Nope. 5 of them dying at once. If I can get more, it'll be even funnier. Okay, we had 12 bosses dying this time at once, so great job everyone. I'll give it a thumbs up due to its hilarity and craziness, but otherwise it's a really easy encounter. I mean, as long as you use a flash stopper or an E-tank, it's an instant win. In fact, I think it's unlosable. Unless you take too much damage from the enemies. I'm not sure. So overall, out of the 10 levels I played through this part, my favorite level would definitely be I Always Come Up With Great Titles, aka the sewer level, with an honorable mention going to Flying Battery. So in this most popular level Q part, I had 2 gems, those being Flying Battery, as well as I Always Come Out With Great Titles, and 2 sort of honorable mentions or semi-gems, those being the Woodman Remake stage and the Sparkman Remake stage. The rest were kind of on the bleh or forgettable side. So in the next part, I'll be covering several more video submitted levels. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!